First, I would like to give you a few tips before we can start the webinar. I would like to indicate you to switch off the camera and microphone on your device and only switch them on again if necessary at the end of the question and answer session. I would also like to make all participants aware that the webinar will be recorded and that each participant will receive the recorded video afterwards. Another important point, you can ask questions in the chat during the webinar, which we will be happy to answer in the question and answer session afterwards. Now I would like to introduce myself briefly for those who don't know me yet. My name is Rolf Peters and I worked for 28 years in the candle industry at Vollmer in Rheinbach as purchasing and production manager. Since 2017, I've been working as a freelance consultant for purchasing optimization in the candle industry, among other things. And here I also got the points of contact with the CST and the CandleApp. Due to my experience in the development of new mixtures and burning behavior of candles, the distribution of CandleApp is a wonderful addition to my other business areas, and candle is still a matter close to my heart. Now I give to Mr. Bach for introduction.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Peters. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining the webinar. My name is Michael Bach. I'm the director of CST Limited. The idea for the CandleApp came about when we were in a candle laboratory and saw how candles were measured manually with a steel ruler. After analyzing the requirements, we were able to digitize the measurement process of candle flames. After many tests at various candle companies, we had then the CandleApp evolved to its current form.
Okay. Now I would like to warmly welcome you all to our CandleApp webinar and hope we can give you a good input on future digital measurement technology in the candle. But first thing is, what is the CandleApp actually? The CandleApp is the new standard for testing the burning behavior of candles and offers industry-wide comparable values and thus for the first time a uniform and comparable measuring method for the whole candle industry. The CandleApp enables a simple and fully automatic measurement of the burning behavior of your candles. Every change in the flame height is automatically documented, and with the use of the CandleApp, you can clearly document every checked candle and thus prevent complaints, but also efficiently improve the production process and avoid complaints. The CandleApp provides traceable and precise measured values over the whole burning period with a measuring accuracy of 1.10 millimeter. With the CandleApp, you can measure up to 10 flames simultaneously and in real time over a period up to 100 hours. With the CandleApp, you can measure all types of flames with normal wick and with wooden wicks too. And the best of all results can be easily transferred both as Excel and as videos. In addition, we attach great importance to data protection with the CandleApp. All data remains exclusively on the device and the device does not have to be connected to the internet. And no data must be transmitted over the internet. You can transfer your measured values wired via USB cable, or you can simply send measured values and images by email. This will be explained again in detail later in the webinar. We now come to a specific measurement process and introduce you to the measurement process as it could also take place in your quality management.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. The CandleApp is based on the premise of making settings once, which are then applied to many projects. These settings include, for example, sending SMS messages when the flame height exceeds or falls below a certain measured value. Another important setting is the time interval between measurements. Here, settings ranging from a few seconds to several hours are possible. It provides several thousand of individual measurements for each candle. The measurements can be displayed graphically as a report, as a time-lapse video, or can be exported in an Excel file for further evaluation. You can find more details about this in our webinars on how to use the CandleApp. Now, the already announced practical setup and performance of a measurement process is being shown. What you see here is CST's own combustion chamber together with the stand for the iPad. The stand can be fully articulated and allows the iPad to be aligned so that the camera can capture the entire flame. The capture can be done from the side, i.e. at a 90-degree angle, or diagonally from above. We look into glass candles or ceramic candles with opaque side walls. We recommend the use of a metal measuring plate, here for example an inexpensive version. We recommend further the design by CST, which ensures that the candles and the reference markers are aligned by means of printed markings. This guarantees highly accurate readings. In order to measure precisely, the CandleApp takes reference values before each measurement. These are generated by two reference markers placed to the left and the right of the candles. There are two types of reference markers. Here we see the small markers, which are suitable for tea lights and pillars of up to 15 centimeters in size. Large markers are for taper candles and church candles for up to 50 centimeters in height. For larger candles or torches, please contact us. We can offer a good solution for this as well. All candles shown here can be measured with the small reference markers without any problems. Of course, tea lights with aluminum caps or grave lights are also supported. Depending on the license you purchase, up to 10 flames can be measured. The CandleApp works on all iPads that can record videos in 4K resolution. This applies to almost all iPads that have come to the market in the last 5 years. A recommendation on which iPad to use can of course be found on our homepage. Here's the setup and a general overview. Our small combustion chamber, the position for the iPad, all candles with the wick lined up and the reference markers on the far left and the far right. Finally, the iPad is set up and brought into position. The following shows how a project is created and executed. This project uses the settings currently made and can therefore be created and then started within a few seconds. Apart from the name, nothing else has to be entered for the project. You can prepare as many projects as you like. You can select the desired project by simply tapping on it. To start the measurement process, simply tap the button Start Measurement. Now light all the candles at the exposure time using the sliders at the top of the screen and select all the flames to be measured by tapping each candle. Approximately 10 measurements per second are taken for each flame. The result of the measurement are shown in the small charts floating next to the flames. This allows a quick overview of the burning process for each flame. The period shown in the charts can be adjusted. In the lower part of the screen, various statistics are being displayed. These are, for example, the elapsed time, the number of saved pictures, and the total project progress as a green progress bar. When the planned project duration has elapsed, a small statistics window about the result of the measuring process is shown. This includes, for example, the largest flame height or the average flame height. In the project view, you can now see all the images that have been taken. You can display a report of the measured flame height or view individual measurement images and send them by email. Furthermore, you can export the entire measured values of the project or create a time-lapse video of the combustion. What we have just seen in the time-lapse is a process that takes many hours, often takes place at several locations in the operation, and apart from the manual recording of the flame height, only requires sporadic monitoring. What does this mean for CandleApp users? To provide sporadic monitoring, the user will have to be run back and forth between individual locations where the CandleApp is being used. To avoid this running back and forth, we have integrated our EasyView solution into CandleApp. EasyView allows you to keep an eye on all firing points via the browser. Simply enter the selected password in EasyView homepage, and all devices assigned to the password are being displayed. If you want to observe firing point more closely, it is of course possible to zoom into this location. What else can be done with Easy View? The burning test with the candles of a customer can be transmitted live to this customer and the responsible salesperson in the home office, for example. This is very helpful for sales and development, especially in current times when people travel simply less. I will now hand over to Mr. Peters, who will explain further on the export options of the readings. Mr. Peters.
Yes, thank you. Here we come to the great advantage of the CandleApp and show how you can access all measured data, whether automatically documented as a CSV or image file. In a short video, you can see how the data can be converted into a CSV file with the CandleApp and then sent by email. Here you see now you give in the address, the email address, and then you can send it. So alternatively, you can also save data and videos on the PC via a USB cable and send them from there. As you can see, data protection is very important for the CandleApp. Only data are stored on the local computer. You don't need the internet for measuring and recording, and you can even set your device to flight mode. You decide which data you want to transfer to whom and at which time. The CandleApp is absolutely safe. So, and now, okay, now we see, now we will briefly show you a time-lapse video as an example, which, like all other data, you can easily save and send at any time and to whom you want. So, and now back to Mr. Bach.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. We have now seen that the CandleApp can send data by email, or in cases where high data protection requirements are in place, can also transmit data directly via cable connection to a PC or a Mac. What can be done with the measured values is shown in the following example of the graphical representation of the measured frame. We open the file created by the CandleApp with Excel. In our example, we have exported all possible columns, including the width of the flame, the exposure time, the number of measurement pauses the user made, and much more. From there, we select the 5 columns with the flame heights in millimeters and have them displayed as a line graph. In this graph, the x-axis represents the measurement time in minutes, and the readings on the y-axis represent the frame height in millimeters. You can set up this graph once and then fill it with data from further measurements. If you need customized statistics or reports, please contact us. Together we can put your requirements for special evaluations or interfaces into action. So further, how can you be sure that the CandleApp measurements are correct? To answer this question, we have integrated a tool for manual measurement or remeasurement of the data into the app. You can have this tool sent to you via the app. The file you receive can be opened in Excel. After opening the tool in Excel, you can load a measurement image created with the CandleApp and manually remeasure the automatic measurement values. Here you can see the red measurement lines generated by the automatic system and the green lines representing the flame height measured by hand. As you can see, the values measured by hand only deviate from the automatic values by a few tenths of a millimeter. If you measure the reference markers in this way, you can actually see that the manual measurement process is highly accurate.
Yes.
Mr. Peters.
Yes. At the very end, before we come to the question and answer session, I would like to briefly address the cost-benefit comparison when using the CandleApp. At that time, we once looked at the measurement process with a steel ruler versus measurement with the CandleApp, in particular, the time savings. In the end, we came to a result of €8.43 monetary benefit per burn, which means a total monetary benefit of €24,840 when using the CandleApp with 18 measurements per day and 240 working days per year. And that at a price of €3,599 for the CandleApp XL with up to 10 flames and easy view included. It is also very important for us to say that everyone has the opportunity to test the CandleApp through its phase free of charge for 30 days. We also offer everyone the opportunity to receive an introductory training webinar. An important point to mention is that there's also a small version of CandleApp with only 2 flames and an M version with 6 flames, which could also be of interest to small companies. And the CandleApp always looks to the flames, and so you can measure multi-wick candles too with the CandleApp. Please contact us afterwards and you will receive a free test code for the CandleApp. So now we come to the end of the webinar, and I would like to point out again that all participants will receive a recording of the webinar. But now I would like to thank you for your attention, and we are curious to see which questions came up in the chat or which you would like to ask now.
Marcus, what questions did you receive?
The first question is CandleApp available in all languages?
CandleApp currently is available in 2 language variants. That would be in German and in English for international audience customers. Depending on your iPad language setting, the language adjusts automatically.
Okay, the second question. Can the CandleApp be used with multi-wick candles, candles that have 2, 3 or more wicks within a container?
Yes.
We have multiple flames measured on the same candle, if that is the question. Yes. Okay, in that sense, yes.
And the third question, how much is the version with 2 flames?
That depends on the license you buy. The second version, the version with the 2 flames, is 3,000, 2,000.
No. Excuse me. That's a CandleApp S. That's a small version with 2 flames, and this is €899.
Yes.
What you mean is the XL CandleApp.
Okay, there's another question. Is there any issues with measuring the flame with decorated glass jar?
As long as the flame can be fully seen in the picture of the iPad, there's no such issues.
And there's another question. Is it a one-off payment or annual cost?
Mr. Peters, do you want to take?
Yes, it is. It's only a license for 1 year. It's an annual cost.
Okay, this was the last question for the moment.
So no further questions.
But you can, if someone don't know to give us the questions, you can send questions by email and we will answer to that.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I have a question concerning the equipment. Do you need special equipment for that? I mean, do you need iPad and what else? The combustion chamber or the parts I saw with the yellow marks on it? Or
Well, the combustion chamber is actually only for fire protection purposes. What you would need is obviously the iPad, some sort of articulated stand for the iPad. And as we said, we recommend some sort of metal bottom plate, probably made of aluminium. Further, you would have to purchase, but this is with N1 license. These are the reference markers.
okay, thank you.
Okay, there are more questions. If not,
Yeah, like Mr. Peter said, like if further questions arise, don't hesitate to email us. We're happy to help.
yes, and so we say thank you for your attention and hope we will see us in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you.